All right. And so I see some familiar faces from yesterday. And then I see some faces that I did not see yesterday. So by show of hands, who's already a food truck owner? Awesome. By show of hands, how many of you are consistently bringing in $10,000 a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Tell me some tricks. Tell me, what are you doing? We're going to be very interactive, by the way. So be quiet all you want. I will pick on you. All righty. That's my personality. All right. Give me a trick. What's one of your secret hacks that keeps you bringing $10,000 consistently?
No sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here first. Who else? Over here, Mr. Oklahoma. So he was in my workshop yesterday, and one of his good friends was one of my competitors on Food Network. So we got a chance to chat. All right, what's one of your secrets?
Good event selection.
Bingo! Somebody else raise their hand for come on over here. Good job. No sleep. Being selective with your event selection.
It was the event selection and also catering.
And today we're going to focus on events and catering. All right, guys. So seriously, you're going to hear me use a lot of terms. Caterings, bookings, gigs, I will use those interchangeably, okay? To me, they almost mean the same thing. But we're going to walk through something. I created the Food Truck Library. All righty, I created this sometime last year. And we're going to walk through it. This is what I teach all of my clients, all righty? It's a whole little library. It starts from, for those wanting to know, getting started to menu creation. We focused on that a lot yesterday. Menu creation and food costs. And okay, and to reach that $10,000, your food cost needs to be under
$90.
Say it again. What did I just hear? No. What was that? Stand up. You're going to come to the front of the room. Food costs. Everybody that was in that class yesterday with me. What is your food cost? Food truck owner. What do we want to keep your number under? Good job. All right. So you need that. Okay. Food truck shopping, grand opening, marketing, PR. And then let's get to the fun part. Earning money. All righty. So my great friend there's one of my clients. I'm going to bring him up. Hello, Dennis. Nice to see you again. Okay. So he has a great story, but I'll let him share his story later. So we're going to talk about finding events. All righty. That's the very first thing. I move around a lot, so you'll see that. How to find events. I have a whole little video on how to find them, but let me make it quick and easy for you. Guys, spend 30 minutes to 1 hour a week on Eventbrite and on Facebook events. All righty? And let me be very clear. My whole thing with marketing is I teach it, I make it simple for you. All righty? We're going to do this the simple way. Don't make this hard. You freak out a lot of times when you feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. So I'm going to make this simple. Spend 30 minutes to 1 hour a week. Eventbrite, Facebook events. You see an event, it catches your eye, pick up the phone. I don't even want you emailing. Let's go old school. I want you to pick up the phone. Hi, my name is Misty. I'm the owner of Brand Appetit. My menu consists of XYZ. I see that you have an event coming up. I would love to cater. Find out more information right there. Do you have any caterers? Do you have anybody supplying food for this event? What's your budget? Are you willing to pay for it, or will customers be paying for it for themselves? What do you want? You want them to pay for it up front. All right? That's simple. 30 minutes to 1 hour a week. And let me be very clear. I only say do this once a week because you're going to see a lot of the same events over and over. If you do it more frequently than that, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to feel like it doesn't work. All right? Very first, simple step. Does that make sense? Stop me at any time with questions. I'm more than happy to answer. Now let's focus on this second tab. It's called an event evaluator. It's something I created for my Food Truck University. I'm going to pull it up here. I'm going to walk through it. Sorry for those on that side of the room. We may not be able to see this well. So listen, because you own a food truck, people love the notoriety and the excitement that food trucks bring. All right? So they will call you. They will inflate the numbers of their event. They will tell you they are having 10,000 people. And you get there and there's 200 people and 17 food vendors. And you're like, wow, I won't make any money today. And on top of that, they'll charge you for it. Whoa, all righty? So this event evaluator that I created is to help you. It's actually to protect you. So let's start here. You find an event on Eventbrite, Facebook events. Someone even calls you about an event. And they're making it sound so exciting. These are the questions I want you asking. Number 1, is this your first time hosting this event? Why do you ask that? Does anybody know? Numbers. We want data. I want to know. So as soon as they tell you, is this your first time hosting this event? Yes, it is. Woohoo! We'll jump down to it right here really quickly. If this is a new event, whatever number you're going to ask them how many attendees, you're going to already cut that number in half. Okay? Because they're telling you how many people they hope come. They have no data to tell you how many people are going to actually show up. Number 2, again, how many attendees? Number 3, this is not a question that you actually ask them. This is a question you ask yourself. How many people are actually eating at this event? And I'm going to walk through their formula. Number 4, the number of total food vendors. We talked about this in my class yesterday. The reason we ask for food vendors and not just food trucks, because they'll say, oh, it's just 2 other food trucks. And then you get there and there's 7 people with a tent. All right. And you're not ready for that. So let's break these numbers down. All righty. So we get there. Here we go. If it is a new event, whatever number they give you, let's say they give you 5,000 people are going to be in attendance. Break that number down in half, okay? I use here 1,000, so let's use this example. For instance, if the event planner tells you there will be 1,000 people in attendance, divide that in half. And realistically, there may only be 500 people, all righty? So that's number 1. It's a new event. If it is a historical event, meaning this isn't their first year, you can genuinely ask them how many people have attended this before. They'll tell you because now they have actual numbers, all right? But even with that, you still need to do some calculations. The number of people eating, this is what you care about, okay? For non-food specific events, I've been doing this since 2013, so I got this formula down pat. It works for every one of my clients. For non-food specific events, only 1/3 of the attendees typically eat. Okay, you get your food truck is booked for an art show for a weekend. It's an art show. They're bringing their family. They're bringing their kids. It's not guaranteed that they're actually going to eat. So you want to take that number. So you would take this 500. Who has a calculator out for me? Anybody? That's 500 divided by 3. Some of my math wizards just told me this. 166. All righty, now let's go back to the number of food vendors. So now we've guesstimated that 166 people are actually going to eat. Now they tell us that they're going to have 10 food vendors. Divide that 166 by 10 for me. That's easy for us all. So you're going to get 16 people will likely eat. Would you attend this event as a chef's food? You better not attend this event. All righty. This is what you don't do. So seriously, that's why you have these questions here. This works very well. If it is a food-specific event, you want to divide the number by 1.25. That's true too. I'll tell you why. Had a client out of Chicago, had his food truck, had a huge festival we went to. And the numbers were great. There were about 10 food vendors, trucks, and people at a tent. And literally, I can't remember the exact calculation I did, one of these, but it was 175 tickets. When we finished, 175 people actually came to the truck. Everybody doesn't eat, even at food events. Some people are vegetarian. Some people want halal meals. Some people are vegan. So everybody's still not going to eat. So you want to make sure, I see everybody taking pictures, please do so. You want to make sure that you follow this. This will save your life, okay? Do not say yes to every person that wants to book you, even if it's free. The worst thing you want to do is show up, and if you don't do this math, you say, oh, it's going to be 166 people there, but you forgot to ask about the number of food vendors, and now you have 16 people may eat from your truck. What a waste of time. You could have fed food. You could have fed these people wherever you were. I'm going to skip over this really quickly. We just talked about that. Event fees. Once you know the event fee, how many of you guys have had success paying for events and attending them? Anybody in the room? Okay. Awesome. So I have clients hit or miss. I have a client named Felipe. Felipe is in Austin. He bought his food truck here in Houston, went to Austin to learn from the food truck community there for 1 year, skyrocketed. He now has 6 trucks. He's not working on any of them. Now he has a kitchen as well. All righty. So Felipe, he is that person. He will invest. All righty. So he spent $8,000 to participate in a 3-day festival. he generated, this is revenue, this is net, $43,000 for 3 days. But Felipe has a hell of a system. Felipe has his food truck. He's there on the top of his food truck. He has a sign that says quesadillas and tacos. So you can see miles away, if you come to his food truck, what you're going to get. He has 3 people working outside on with the table with the POS system, and they're just pushing it out left and right. He makes it so easy. Felipe has also paid $10,000 for a festival in Austin. And he called me and he said, I took a big loss. Loss was not that it wasn't any attendees there, the positioning of where he was. No traffic was over there. So it's really a risky game, okay? So I don't want to tell you don't ever pay for an event, but I want to tell you to use your discernment, to pay attention. Is it worth it? It's going to depend on you. It is a great way to bring in some money for 3 days, but you're going to be dog tired. So be ready to be dog tired after that, okay? But I really want to encourage all of you, especially if you're just starting out, try to pay for the least amount of events that you can at the beginning, because you need to grow your brand. You need to grow your business, all righty? Any questions before I go to the next session? Yes, ma'am.
Bye.
Yes, it's actually, I'll have a link at the end. All righty, so let's go to the next tab. It's my little lovely food truck library. Roaming Hunger. Who's heard of it? They're here. How many have gotten events from Roaming Hunger? Love it? Like it? I see 3 hands. Yes. Love it? Like it? Yes. I saw another hand back there somewhere. Anybody else on this side? No. Everybody, by the end of today, go to roaminghunger.com. Find out. They will find events for you. You don't have to do the homework. All right? I'm going to give you some examples. All right. So you're going to go here. This is just an example. It's kind of tiny. Sorry, I don't know how to make this bigger. You'll set up a profile. Please don't skip on your profile. This is your business. I'm in marketing. You need to talk so well about yourself. Your pictures need to look so amazing. Your menu, when you describe it, don't just say tacos. What's amazing about your tacos? You need to describe it. When you do all of that, you're more likely to get booked with them, okay? So here's an example here. Pretty tiny. Feel free to zoom in and take photos. What they're going to do, they will let you know, hey, a client, say you live in Arkansas. A client in Arkansas is looking on October 3rd from 5 to 7 p.m. Here's the address. It's going to be 50 attendees. The minimum that we're going to pay you is $600. Are you interested? You're going to say yes or no. Listen, I know everybody wants to make lots of money up front, but these little $600 gigs go a long way when you first start. Please accept these gigs. What you do is you just minimize your portion size, all right? So if it's okay, 50 people at $600, that's roughly $11. Okay, I don't have anything, but what can you offer? I see so many food trucks saying no, and then you're missing out on money. Don't say no. Think about what you can actually offer the people for that amount. Does that make sense? So everybody, roaminghunger.com, set up that account. It's free. They bring you money. They bring revenue for you, especially if you have something unique. We spent some time in my class yesterday talking about creating signature dishes. If you have an amazing signature dish, you definitely need to be on here. They love you guys for that. All right? Y'all are quiet. Talk back to me. I missed my class from yesterday. Okay, then maybe y'all are really learning. Listen, I want y'all to talk back. So everybody sign up for them, seriously. And it's going to be some gigs you may pass on, and it's okay. Sometimes they'll come in, and when you do the calculation, it's like $5 a person. Okay, listen, unless you're selling ice cream cones, probably not going to be worth it. But if you're having anything else, sign up. Why not? Again, these are simple tricks. Let them do the work for you. And here's the thing about them. Dennis can attest to this. Dennis, do you remember? Oh, I can pull it up. Do you remember a guy in Food Truck University out of Atlanta saying that he got a $9,000 catering gig from Roaming Hunger? Guess what? He started off with these little bitty ones. Now he says they don't offer him these little bitty ones anymore. And the man sells cookies, okay? So think about the profit margin on that. He sells cookies. They hired him. They paid him $9,000 to make cookies for 300 people for 4 hours. And I shared yesterday in the class that this gentleman, he started with one food truck. He wanted a brick and mortar so bad, got a brick and mortar. Business was so good with the food truck. Now he has 2 trucks in the brick and mortar. Brick and mortar is plummeting, and it's the food truck that's keeping him alive. So all of you, think about that. Keep that in mind too, okay? Any questions so far? Yes, ma'am. Whatever percentage they're taking is not going to be what's shown to you. So I have her, I've had some, but thank you for asking that. So back in the day, in like 2016, you would have some food trucks like, oh, well, I don't like that they take a percentage. It's not coming out of that money. So you want to be prideful and miss out on $600 because they took a percentage? And yes, they take a high percentage, but they never show you what they're taking. You don't care about that. You figure out what you can cook for $600 to feed 50 people. Okay? That's what you worry. That's what you want to focus on. Trust me. But people miss money, thinking too big of themselves, especially when they're first starting out. Sometimes we have to crawl before we walk, and it's okay. Everybody doesn't come out the gates going super fast. So who is signing up for roaminghunger.com tonight? The people in the building raise their hands. Okay, when you need $600, no, I'm joking. You'll be wondering why. I'm joking. I'm naturally silly. All righty. How many of you have heard of brand activations? I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's Roaming Hunger that I just talked about. Let me show you this too. Same client out of Atlanta. So this is a clip from my ebook. I wrote an ebook, so you think you want to own a food truck. And I told the stories of 7 different food truck owners across the country. This is the same food truck owner, the guy who sells cookies. Roaming Hunger paid him $20,000 to roam around Atlanta for a weekend to put a temporary wrap on his food truck. Upward Christian dating app paid him $15,000 for 3 days. When the Super Bowl was in Atlanta in February 2019, I believe, I was there. A pretzel company paid him $20,000, I think $30,000 because it was Super Bowl weekend. So remember when they said I owned a food truck? This is why I got one. My very first one was with Uber. Uber put a temporary wrap on my truck. We drove around Dallas and passed out ice cream cones. This is some of the easiest money you can make. Yes.
Guy. Now, let's say.
So he's not. So they're just using your truck. They're renting your truck for $20,000. They provide all the pretzels. They provide the staff. They have brand ambassadors. Actually, you bring the truck. You don't even decide. What you do is you charge them. So let's use that Upward dating app. They needed his truck on a Wednesday. Okay. The brand activation wasn't starting until Friday. But Wednesday, they put the temporary wrap on. Okay. You get paid for the days that you're not in business. They will ask you for your sales reports. So don't lie. Okay. So don't say on a Wednesday you make $2,000 when you don't. Right. They'll say, okay, on the average Wednesday, you're making $500. We're going to wrap your truck and then they're going to pay you. Because he's done so well with these, he's had 5 of these, 4 from Roaming Hunger and 1 from a regular client out of New York who found him. So please, what some of the things I hear from food trucks, I don't want them to mess up my wrap. First of all, your wrap shouldn't have cost you more than $5,000. You paid more than that, okay, don't do that again. But 2, you will tell them, they will create a contract for you, a clause. Well, you will say, hey, add in there that if you destroy or hamper and mess up my wrap in any way, that you will get it fixed. Because so many trucks in Atlanta pass on this opportunity because they don't see the benefit, they're missing out. This man is making this much money, doesn't even have to pay staff, no labor costs, no food costs for his cookies, just letting them rent his food truck for a week. All right? How can you find us again? roaminghunger.com. The better you do with them with the catering gigs, they see how well you're performing. They listen to what the clients say about your service and what you do. And because he's been doing this for 8 years, he gets these type of gigs. All righty? Make sense? You're going to find a lot of these brand activations, huge cities. But I'm sure you guys have seen branded food trucks, right? There's a Dunkin' Donuts truck rolling around. There's an Olive Garden truck. Where do you guys live? I'm serious. Where do you guys live? Houston, there was a Dunkin' Donuts food truck that was here for like 2 months. I think you realize it's a word. Okay, probably not. Yes. You think that they're on? No. So a lot of times it's a brand activation. They're just doing this for a little bit of moment. Okay, perfect. I had a company, a marketing agency out of Detroit call me. Well, the client was in Detroit. I believe they're in Chicago. They have a cannabis company. They wanted to go from Detroit all the way to Grand Rapids. Put together a proposal for them. It was a $40,000 proposal. All right. All they wanted was Italian ice cream. They wanted her to create the flavors of the cannabis flavors. There you go. Temporary wrap. It's that simple. Again, if you're lucky, I just want to share this because if you get one, take it. If you're unsure, call me. I will tell you to take it and we will walk through the contract together. Do not miss out on this money. All right. Let's see. Okay. How am I doing on time? Okay. Any questions before I move on? Yes, ma'am. Say it again. Roaming Hunger? No, they're out of LA, but they provide. So that's the number. No. So they're based in LA, but I'm going to answer your question. So they're based in LA, but they provide catering services nationwide. So most people who want, like corporations, when they want food trucks, they type in food truck catering, and they're going to be the first one to pop up. And then when you go to their page, you'll see, when you go to their page, you'll see they're reputable, how reputable they are, and people keep going back. So that's what it is. But no, they're just based in California, but providing services all the way here. All right? You're welcome. All righty. Catering gigs. So this is one of my favorites. All righty? I'm a big believer because guess what? Roaming Hunger is not going to call every day. You be parked at a food truck park. Nobody's going to show up every day sometimes. Catering. So I'm passionate about this. I shared in yesterday's class that one of my clients, the brunch bus, his truck has been down for a week. But guess what? He hasn't missed any money because he's still catering. He usually caters from his truck, but he had 3 caterings last week. And so while his truck was in the shop, he was still making money, okay? So you, as a food truck owner, you never, ever, ever stop catering. You need to always be promoting that you cater because it's guaranteed money. You have a minimum that you'll bring your truck out for. Somebody said, I say, hey, I'm having a birthday party. I want your truck here. I'm having a wedding. I want your truck here, your food. You come out. You want to promote that every chance that you get that you cater. All right. So I have it on here once a week. Announce on social media. Announce. We cater. The cookie company, that's how he said he blew up. Announcing once a week. Once a week. We cater. And be specific. So with marketing, you have to plant seeds. Okay? Dennis, are you taking pictures of me or of that? Because you should have that. Oh, okay. I was going to say, what are you doing? Like, what? You should notice. I expect more. I'm joking. But once a week, announce on social media that you are catering. Let me see if I have an example on here. I do. The cookie company. So once a week, he said he makes sure his social media girl, because he's at that point now. So he has a whole little team doing social media for him. We also cater events. But what I love about this post and why I used it, he specified weddings. Don't just say we cater. Plant seeds for people. Weddings. So I can say, oh, Crystal has a wedding coming up. Graduations. Ooh. I even had a client, I don't know, kids do prom send-offs or something now, whatever. Someone booked his food truck for a prom send-off, literally to feed the people at the house. Say all of those words, employee appreciation. He's in Atlanta, so they have movie sets and more. Saying this once a week, it registers in people's minds over and over and over and over and over again, okay? So make sure that you say that, but be specific. Show past weddings that you've done. If you have a wedding before, show a bride and groom hanging from your truck. Hey, don't forget we cater weddings. Plant the seed. Make it real for these people. So even if it's not for their wedding, they remember to call you for the next wedding that they attend. Ask for testimonials. Yes. Ask. And it's so easy. How I like to do it, I have a client in San Francisco. I like her tactic more than I like mine, actually. So she does paletas. So she does paletas there, and that's ice cream. It's like a fruity, I can't explain it. But you go, and as soon as she drops them off, as soon as her during her event, she texts the event planner and says, hey, how's everybody liking it? And she gets a response right then and there. Because now it's going to be a great response, and now I can post this on social media. So she, instead of waiting days later, corporations may want to wait a few days later. All righty. So food truck minimum. Since most of you guys are truck owners out here, what's your minimum? Talk to me. What's the minimum that you're coming out? Hey, I'm having an event. I want you at my event. What's your minimum that you're coming out for? $750. How did you come up with that number?
Because
Let me show you the microphone. Staffing?
yeah,
Good job. Food cost was included in that?
yes. But I have no weights on my food truck.
Very good. So you buy just enough. What's your food cost?
I never sell out because my menu stays the same. So I have a permanent spot.
Okay.
So whatever's left, everything is ordered. So whatever's left over from the event, it rolls up to the next.
Okay. And you're okay. You're from Dallas. From Oak Cliff, Texas. I went to sure. All staff. Who else has a minimum? Yes, sir. Mr. Oklahoma. Awesome. He said weekdays 600, weekends 750. Anybody have a minimum lower than 750, 600? 250 an hour. Okay. What's your minimum on the hours? Do you have that? 2 hours, so 500. Okay. How long have you been in business? Good. That's what I wanted to get at. If you're just starting out, okay, I don't ever want you to lowball yourself. But Mr. Timothy said it best here: your staff, your labor costs, which you want to make sure you're covering. You want to make sure you're covering your food, and you want to make sure you're profitable. Okay. But while you're getting your name out there, it's okay to start at $500 for a food truck minimum. Because a lot of people, I've seen food trucks, I've seen some of my clients get great gigs because some people are like, oh, they only want to pay $800. I'm not going out for that. Are you crazy? On a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you better go. You'd rather sit here and hope and pray that 20 people come to your truck and spend $10 each. No, please just be very, 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 very smart. Be very, very intentional. Create yourself a food truck minimum. The bigger you get, the better brand awareness you have. Guess you're in high demand. So you people say, when do I know to take that price up when you're in demand? Until you're in demand, you keep it at the same. Listen, do the same thing at the grocery store as you do us. When you're in demand, take the price up. That's business. Yes, sir.
Or the man he like yeah, get the high. That's right. Well, I'll do it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how I should just never.
So the by demand, so you have two people wanting you on the same day. You have your phone is ringing so much that now you can increase you can go from that 500 to that 750 because now I need to get the best bidder. That's what I mean. Not regarding any other truck, just you. Yeah.
Like, when you keep it, like once you get to that point,
Keep it there for a while. Yeah. Don't be greedy, right? Because you don't want to miss out on business. You don't want someone to say, oh, my budget was only $750 and his minimum is $1,000. No. You want to always be flexible. Here's another thing. How many of you guys make money from schools? Anybody go to schools? Awesome. Perfect. Is there anybody that does not go to schools? And if so, what's the reason?
I go to school, sometimes they're budget.
Yes.
School budget are low.
School budgets are really low sometimes. Okay. So depending on what POS system you're using, I'm going to use Square, but a lot of you may be using Clover, Toast, possibly if you have restaurant and food truck. Listen, one thing you can do for schools to make your life easier, simply send them the link to your Square account and let them pre-order and pay for it. Do that 2 to 3 days before you go out there. So now you know what to be ready for. Now you're not hoping and praying that 10 teachers and 10 counselors and a principal may eat. Send that link out. Hey, thank you so much that you want to have my food truck at your school today. Here's the link. Go ahead and place your pre-orders. Don't say you can. That gives them an option. Say go ahead. It's all about the verbiage that we use, okay? So go ahead and place your pre-orders. Does that make sense? That's one way. Listen, on a random Tuesday, you need a quick $400. Send those pre-orders out. Send that link out and let them pre-order. All right? Okay. Now, this is my favorite. How to secure corporate catering gigs. So I get a lot of calls for this. I have a law firm that calls me quite a bit. Literally, I just booked a client to make 40 hot dogs and 40 burgers for $1,250. Okay? Do you know how I get that business all the time? My clients who are serious, samples. People underestimate samples. Now, of course, we didn't sample hot dogs and burgers, right? So what happened was a couple of years ago, the same law firm, they wanted a Thanksgiving type meal, okay, to feed their staff. Hey, they were going against a lot of big corporations here in Houston, a lot of big businesses, restaurants. I had my chef who is amazing, one of my chefs. He used to be a private chef for, not Chevron, for Shell, for their C-suite, their CEOs. He was a private chef for them every day whenever they were entertaining different meetings and things like that. Created them an amazing Thanksgiving meal. We took samples. See, everybody else, Olive Garden, whoever else they called, I can't remember who else, they're just sending over quotes. I haven't tasted your food. So, hey, let's stand out. Let's go the extra mile and provide a sample. They have not stopped booking him yet. Any corporate event they have, again, we just got paid $12.50 for hot dogs for 40 people. They keep going after him. Corporate wants you guys, but you have to let them know you exist. So what I want you guys to do, and we'll talk about it more at the end, Marketing Mondays. There's now one food truck. Anybody here open on Mondays? Shouldn't be. Anybody? Dennis? Anyway, it shouldn't be. We'll be my client. Anyway, listen. Marketing Mondays. Marketing Mondays. I want you to spend 2 hours a week, every Monday. Take those samples, map out some corporations, or you can talk to your friends. How many friends in your phone work for XYZ Corporation? Hey, can I have the name of the person who does the ordering? Depending on what type of business it is, it may be an admin, it may be the marketing department, it may be the event planner. Ask them for their information. Hey, I'd like to come by Monday at this time, drop off some samples. You're going to drop off samples in 3 or 5 ounce cups, okay? You're not making a whole meal for anybody, all right? 3 to 5 ounce cups, you're going to take that in. Literally just some little bite. Maybe don't even say samples, maybe say bites, but let them know you're going to drop this off. Drop it off, give it to them. You do that on Monday. Tuesday morning, you send an email. Hi, Crystal. Yesterday I dropped off XYZ. What did the staff think about it? Now you want her to reply back to you. She's going to reply back. If she doesn't reply back, you relook at your food, okay? And it's just a serious thing. When she replies back, all right, she says, oh my God, the staff, everybody loved it. Awesome. What's the next event that you guys need catering for? How can I become a preferred caterer for your company? It is that easy. I've been doing this for 13 years. And when I was in corporate, I used to be the person booking the chefs. Anybody who brought samples, we went with them automatically because they went above and beyond. So do that. It is that simple. And like I said in class yesterday, we've been going to the mall all of our lives. They're still giving you a toothpick when you walk by the food court. Why are they doing that? Chick-fil-A doesn't have to do that, right? They have a huge brand. But it's the smaller companies that do that. You are a smaller brand. Pass out samples. Even at events, I tell my food trucks, if I pop up on you at an event and you don't have anybody in your line and you're just sitting on that truck, get your butt out, have some toothpicks, have some 3 ounce cups. If you have chicken tenders at Dennis, you chop that chicken tender up in 20 pieces, you stick a toothpick in it, and you pass out samples. Again, marketing, you get to market to all 5 of the senses. Why are you not? Why are you hoping someone would come up to your truck just by reading this menu? There's nothing that great about your menu that I want to try. Make me taste it. Make me want it. And how you make them want it is by putting it on their palate. Any questions about corporate caterings? I'm making this very simple. I promise you it works. Do I need to call my law firm and have them tell you why it works? And now again, they keep, no matter what and my chef does all types of elevated meals, but no matter how simple it is, they're willing to pay him $1,250 for hot dogs, literally, and condiments and turkey burgers for 40 people. You can't beat that. Can you imagine, Mr. Oklahoma, can you imagine the profit margin on that? On those hot dogs? Yes, sir.
What were you saying? You should be closed on Mondays. Make time for the marketing.
Oh no, you shouldn't be. Most trucks are, because you work all weekend. You're typically tired. Yeah, Monday is your day to relax. Yeah, and you may not open us. She's like, Monday's typically your day to relax. Why my client over here chooses Tuesday? I have no idea. I'm joking. He'll tell us. Let's see my time. All right. Question: is this simple enough? I like to make it simple. It works. So many people think that social media is going to take off for them. And sometimes it will, but for everybody, it may not. And it's okay. So you are responsible. I've asked you to do a couple things. I've asked you to sign up for roaminghunger.com. Easy. That's just signing up. I've asked for you to spend 30 minutes to 1 hour a week on Facebook events and Eventbrite. Okay. And I've asked you to start doing marketing Mondays. And you can start in your own phone. You don't want to be a Misty. I'm very bold. So I'll walk up to the company and just ask. You don't want to do that? Start in your phone. Call your friends. That's what I do a lot of time. Hey, so, okay, let's see. It's July. Corporate is going to want to start securing their holiday food by October. You have enough time to build relationships. You have enough time to get at least 2 to 3 corporate bookings, minimum. Okay? And they book for everything. They book for July 4th. They book for Memorial. They book for everything. So but go ahead and become a preferred vendor. Don't wait until then. Introduce them to your menu now. Let's keep going. Here's a sample catering menu. So again, I mentioned client earlier, brunch bus. So Dennis, come up here for a second. This is not Dennis's truck. But one thing, if you get to know me, you'll learn that I am serious about keeping a simple menu, and I am serious about food costs. Because you think you're profitable because you made X amount of money, and then I only come in here and I look at this and say, dude, you see how much money you spent? Tell them what I did to your menu. This is not his menu. But Dennis and I had a meeting, and you talk about your menu.
Yes. So it was a working menu, by the way. Working meeting that we discussed about the menu. So my menu, when I first started my food truck, was a restaurant menu. I'll give you a quick example. So my menu is chicken wings, cinders, catfish, very rice, mac and cheese, fries. I have some outstanding items that I really love to throughout. But that's my main menu. What I had at the time when I first opened, just every single option for every single thing on my menu. So if you wanted just this, I had just this. You wanted just shrimp, I had just shrimp. You wanted fish and shrimp, I have fish and shrimp. What I noticed, especially at the location where I am now, and because of the volume that I'm at the beach, was that people were walking up to my menu and sitting 2 to 3 minutes just staring at it and trying to figure out what do I even want. I know I want fish. Oh, but then you got shrimp. Oh, now I want fish and shrimp. Oh, but you got fish and chicken. And then you got chicken and shrimp. And it was just, it was nuts, right? But as I'm sitting at the window waiting for the order, I am now having to help them walk through my menu. You know what?
Are you a server? No. Go ahead.
I listen to stuff, right? So I'm now having to train myself as well as myself on vetting the customers, on helping them figure out what they want, right? So imagine that, it's such a customer perspective. So Misty and I sat down and we said almost an hour, and she asked a lot of good questions. That is what we have. Let's look at your numbers. Are you even selling your 6 shrimp? Are you even selling your 12 shrimp? Why is this on your menu? So by the end of the meeting, we came down with a top 7 items. I went from about 18 items on my menu because I should have had everything labeled out to a top 7. And when I tell you I have also made more money with those top 7 items than I did in 18, they're true the numbers. So sitting down and taking a look at your menu, you do not have to offer everything. Now, what I've also found since I've changed my menu is my older loyal customers that remember coming to me months ago, a year ago, they come and they say, hey, you used to have this and you used to have that. Guess what? We still do. It's just not on the menu anymore. It's still in my POS system. I can still sell it to that customer if that's what they remember, but it is no longer on my menu because I want to lessen the amount of time that people take to figure out what they want, get their order in, and more money in, more money is out. So hopefully that kind of helps, and I'm going to have more questions for me. But take a look at your menu, and please do not be afraid to convince us. The one thing that I will admit to, and I'll start to shake your hand, is that our menu is our baby. We want to satisfy and compliment the requests of every single section. Y'all feel me on that? Yes. No, I was tied to lock too. It comes back in about 30 minutes.
Arguing.
Or just telling
No.
let's take it out, take out. So I figured my menu out, my original menu. By the end of it, there was X marks, there was crossed out, there was everything on that menu. I went to my graphics guy. This is my new menu going forward. As of March 1st, I've made more money for the simplified menu.
Yes. Thank you so much. Listen, and he didn't tell you what I wanted him to tell you. He didn't tell you that I had a red marker and I went through that menu. So that's probably like, seriously, if we ever work together, that's the first thing I do. I tell every truck, 5 to 8 menu items. What are you? You are not a restaurant. Do you know the size of your kitchen? You don't. I have restaurant clients. You have a commercial kitchen. Guess what? Even them, I still argue with a lot of those guys too. Because everybody, oh no, I got to sell this. And listen, this is something else. I spoke at a culinary conference. I don't have a team. I spoke at a culinary conference in February. How many of you guys are reviewing your sales reports? Tell me the truth. Thank you for the honesty. Listen, on that Monday, I know you're tired. I know you're pooped. So let's do it on Tuesdays. I'm giving you enough homework. How are you ever going to know your numbers? This is what I noticed at the culinary conference. We pulled up a food truck owner, we pulled up a catering business, and we had a restaurant. And we did this thing where everybody was able to bring, we had like a little whiteboard for them and tell us what they thought their top 4 bestsellers were. They would tell us, they would write it down, and then we say, pull your sales report. Only one was right. Only one was right. People swear, oh no, even with him, no, it is sales, Misty. And I go pull the report. Sir, you sold 6 of these in 1 month. Take it off. And that's literally how our meetings go. Take it off. So please look at your sales reports once a week. You need to know, thank you. You need to know your numbers. Look, now I sound like a doctor. What are your numbers? You need to know where you stand. You need to know how much you're actually profiting. You need to know what your labor looks like. You need to know what your food costs were. And you think, oh man, I had a great week. I did $3,000. And you go in there, well, how much did you spend on food? How much was labor? So how much do you really have? How much was propane? How much was the gas for that generator? How much were your paper goods? I noticed that you guys aren't looking, but more importantly, this helps you narrow down that menu. You heard what Dennis just said. He narrowed down the menu, and Dennis had a restaurant style. He had so many combos on that menu. I was just gonna go crazy. but he simplified the menu, more money. All right. And men, y'all have women. Y'all know we can't look at a menu and make a decision. So why would you dare have these crazy menus? Look at these menus, okay? That's really, really, really gonna save your life. Now let me show you. Dennis, look, you want to keep talking here? Dennis got something else to say. I'm gonna let him say it.
Well, okay, so I there why I'm showing this. Real big state. Finish with us. The title of the other session talking about making $10,000 a month. I'm going to help somebody. I think I have a pretty good success story that I can share. And going forward, let's connect. So, why I'm open on Tuesday? So I transitioned to a place right down the street called Fortune's Backyard. It's a beauty attraction food park. So especially for a lot of you guys that maybe out in the city, out of the state, please stop by and take a look at what they do. They've done an amazing job, especially for hosting food trucks. There are 16 food trucks there wrapped around the bar. So the reason why I'm open on a Monday is because going forward, we're going to have Monday night football season, etc. So all of us at Chuck Williams there decided our best day to close would be a Tuesday early in the week. Gives us a day to reset, kind of get some rest, clean up our trucks for the rest of the week. So that's why I work on Tuesday. But today I will also be going out and doing some marketing as a school ready to start back. So I need to find at least 6 schools that I can either help sponsor teachers for a back to school, drop out some kind of backpack to a sponsorship. But that's what's next on my list. That's why I'm going to my marketing.
But don't leave. Hold on. Don't leave really quickly. Before I want to touch on this menu really quickly. So listen, this is a very simple menu. This is a client and brunch bus. I created this after dicing his menu. I created this. Now he still has a movie that's like yours used to be, but I'm not going to fight him too much. We've taken 5 things off. This is simple. When Targets and Walmarts call me, their budget is typically $10 to $11 per person. All righty? They want to feed 200 employees. You want to send them this simple menu. This is their budget. You don't want to say no. Some people say, oh, $10, that's so. Listen, I've done business with 4 Walmarts now. 4. They keep referring me to the next one. I had to actually text one this morning and say, hey, when's the next inventory day? When do you need another food truck? Listen, and what do? I send samples. And once you get into that one Walmart, they start referring you to the others. So every Walmart doesn't do this, okay? It's going to be ones typically who have good employees, because some Walmart employees don't care. But it's going to be the ones who have decent employees, and they want to reward them. So if you come in talking about $15 per person, then their budget is $11, and they pay you cash. At the end of the night, they give you tickets. So they do ask my trucks now. Here's the hard. We'll tell you this. They do ask my trucks to, I use Felipe a lot of times for my Walmarts. They'll ask him because they have an overnight crew. So is it possible, you don't have to bring the truck, but is it possible for you to feed the 30, 40 people that work overnight? Felipe creates his fajita box, his quesadilla box. He has one of his employees run it over there at midnight. They don't want lunch until 1, but we already have it ready for you. He asks, and he leaves his food truck there. He leaves his food truck plugged in. And at 10 a.m. when they want him to start, he's ready to go. All right, he's usually there till 5. Sometimes they come out and say, hey, can you stay till 7? All they ask, what they typically do, most Walmarts that I've worked with in Houston, they give each employee a coupon, okay? Walmart is serious about their money. I think we all know this. They count those coupons at the end of the night. So if you know you're gonna do an event like this, have your little bucket, put all the coupons in there, okay? But this is why a simple menu goes a long way. Whenever I've sent them a hard, complicated menu, they've been like, oh no, just give me something easy. They want something easy and flavorful. But these people have 30-minute lunch breaks. We don't have time to wait on you to cook your crazy, whatever you're trying to cook. All right, we don't have time for you to bake your mac and cheese and all this other stuff. What did I want to talk to you? So Dennis doesn't have a traditional food truck story. I am not going to share your story, but I want to focus on something. So he talked about the food truck park. Do y'all call it a food truck park? Mm-hmm. Okay. He talks about the food truck park that he's at now. I am not pro food truck park. All righty. But I love this food truck park he's at now. Let me say this. I'm not pro food truck park in a lot of parts of the country because a lot of people see you guys as money cows. We talked about this in my class yesterday. They want to charge you this $1,500, this $2,000 a month. to park, and then you have no customers, and now they have 10 trucks, and they're promoting themselves, and there's 5 customers trying to choose from them. I'm not with that. So please use your discernment when it comes to that. Dennis was actually at one of those parks for, how long were you there?
6 months.
6 months. And then Dennis said, it's not working. And he decided to move around. Now, I do want you to share your move around story. You don't have to share your Porky story.
I got you.
But you can share how he built. Dennis has a phenomenal story. That's all I can say. Every food truck, he's my only client with the numbers that he has. It's not typical. It's way more than $10,000, but he's operating also like a restaurant. That's why he's open. He's open 11 to 11.
Most days.
He's open 11 to 11. So he's running Dennis put back on some weight because at that meeting he lost weight, and I fussed a lot. I told him and his wife, look, y'all better get us together. Yeah. But I want you to tell them how you built your audience. You left the food truck park, so walk them to their story.
Okay, and I'll make it quick for sake of time. I want to be respectful to the schedule. So I was at a food truck park about 6 months. Very, very, very little foot traffic in this area. What I also found was in the area that I was at, I was the cheat meal. What do I mean by that? I was in an area where people were jogging trails and walking dogs. They did not want fried food unless they were the cheat meal. So if you think about a cheat meal for most people, that might be one day a week, maybe one day out of the month. Mm-hmm. So you imagine my revenue, especially on the daily. It was slow. Some nights I was going home with 5 tickets. On weekends, sometimes it was 17, and I was sitting there for 8 to 9 hours. And at this time, I was working the truck by myself. I did not have a staff. I did not have employees. I would have friends and family that would come and help for big events, but I was by myself. So what I decided to do instead of sitting was I sell wings. People like to eat wings throughout the week. They like to have wings on Wednesday. You see all these businesses, oh, it's Wing Wednesday. So I got smart. I saw all the big businesses that were doing this. I said, why not me? So I'm on 6 wheels. I can go and sell my food anywhere I want. So what I did was I hit the ground running. I went to apartment complexes, Walmart's, Kroger's, all the businesses where I would see other food trucks at in a given day of a week. And I said, hey, how do I get my truck here? The only thing I'm looking for is a Wednesday for 5 hours. You can charge me, you cannot. Most apartments, they weren't. They just want to be there to service their community. Most other businesses, they just want to be there to just be open and say, hey, we do have the trucks here, we don't charge you guys anything, thank you, I'll take it. So I sought out those particular places. Here's why. A Wednesday, 5 hours, I popped up, I sold wings for $1. Was not the market, it cost me. We know what wing prices are today, and I'll tell you locally here in Houston from my distributor, I just paid $130 for a 40-pound case 2 days ago. Crazy. Same case that I paid $80 for 12 months ago. Crazy, right? But at this time, I was selling wings for $1 for 5 hours on a Wednesday. I went around all 4 northeast, southwest of the city. I rotated out all of my locations. I did this from May until September. By September, I knew exactly, based on my numbers, because I studied them at the end of every Wednesday after those 5 hours, I knew my numbers on every location in every part of the city that I set up at. I went to every location at least twice, so I could have the first time you liked me, the second time you loved me, and then the third time I might come back if it was good enough. That third time was right here in Humble because they produced the most numbers in the 5 hours on all the Wednesdays when I showed up out here. Ironically, Porky's backyard was getting built right over here in the area. We connected, I signed the contract, that's been home for me. The reason why I share this story is because a lot of us a lot of us have signature products, a lot of us can be out there making it happen. What the Wing Wednesday pop-up did for me was 2 things. It allowed me to get my name, my brand, and my recipe out to everybody, selling wings for $1, 5 hours minimum. I was going through 4 cases of chicken no matter where I was in the city. So imagine going through 4 cases of chicken in 4 to 5 hours, selling it for $1. You do the math on that, no location was I walking away with a minimum of $1,000. This was my way of generating the rest of that income to cover me going into the weekend, knowing that it was going to be slow back at the park I was at. The second thing that it did for me was market research. I did not have to worry about, will I make money over here? Because I'm only going to be there on a Wednesday for 5 hours and guaranteeing I'm going to make the money. Here's how I did it from a marketing perspective. I paid for the Instagram ads. I took the time to make the flyers myself. I paid for the Instagram ad to market geofence in that particular area of where I was going to be set up. So if I'm at such and such Walmart, if I'm at such and such apartment complex, I have the apartment complex push it out to their residents. I pushed it out from a social media standpoint using Instagram marketing. The second thing I did was I went into Nextdoor, I went into Ring. I changed the location of my address in those apps to be the address in the area where I was going to be set up. I dropped a flyer in those apps and promoted it for a week before I was there. When people showed up, I saw you on Nextdoor. I saw you on Ring. This came across my timeline on Instagram today. $1 wings, $5 pop-up from May to September. I found my home. What I was doing in a month last year with my business, I'm now doing every single week.
He has a great story. Thank you. And now, thank you, Dennis. So I'm going to end with 3 things. First, so Dennis, thank you. You touched on something I forgot to mention. So when you're catering, your corporate catering, all right, think about your menu, all right? If you, all these chicken wings that Dennis talking about, my law firms do not want that. My CPAs do not want these fried chicken wings. But guess who wants them? FedEx warehouses, Waste Management, Walmart, Target. So no, your menu is going to tell you who to market to. It's going to tell you what time of year to market it. To whom? And listen, you can create more than that. Just because that's what's on your menu, do not be afraid to customize something for a client, all righty? But that tells you, so do not go into a law firm with all these chicken wings, these fried chicken wings, and think they're gonna book you. They're not, all righty? So know your audience, know who wants your food. Again, FedEx, that Amazon warehouses, you know how many, no matter where we live, there's Amazon. Go to an Amazon, give them some samples. They have all these associates working nonstop. There's places for you to make this type of revenue. I have another client, Waste Management keeps him booked once a week, serving hot dogs and burgers on his food truck to employees. All righty, so just think about that, okay? I was gonna say, so homework, all righty, and before I share my Instagram, because you asked me how to get access to this. Homework. Number 1, what was number 1? Who remembers? I give you extra credit, which I don't know what that is, but you're gonna get extra credit. Roaming hunger, very good. Marketing Mondays, all righty? So spending how many hours in the field? All right, if I sell vegan food, who am I going to? If I have vegan food, I'm not going to Walmart. Where am I going? Who? Corporations, all right? If I know how to create gluten-free, if I can cook for celiac disease, any of that, you want to go to a corporation. If I have anything fried, a whole bunch of tacos, quesadillas, I'm going to warehouses, Amazon, Costco, Walmart, Targets. All righty, think about the audience, all righty? How often are we reviewing our sales reports? Weekly, on what day? It's supposed to be Mondays, but y'all act like y'all are so tired on a Monday. So I'll give you a Tuesday. Why are we reviewing our sales reports? Thank you. That's it. To know your numbers, to know where the heck you stand. Event research. How much time are we spending every week on Facebook events and Eventbrite? 30 minutes to an hour. Who's going to do their homework? All of you getting F's. I'm just joking. Thank you. Last but not least, somebody asked. So you can follow me, all of you who have Instagram. I'm known as the Food Truck Lady since 2013. THE, Food Truck Lady. Go on there. Click this lovely link. You can see everything I offer. What you were looking at today, ma'am, was called the Food Truck Library. So I'll walk you through everything. There's a video and there's a worksheet to every single thing. But I enjoyed every last one of you. And before y'all leave, we're going to take a picture. We're going to do like a huge fun selfie. All right? Any questions before we go? Yes, sir.
Menu on the menu.
Absolutely. You put pictures of everything. I don't care if you hurt your toe. Tell your backstory. But people want to do business with people. Seriously. Your food is good, but people love a good backstory. So be sure to tell your story. Dennis has been telling his story and y'all are loving it. You do the same thing. Tell your story. People love the story. If you're afraid to tell it, pass the mic to the person in your family who's not to. Okay? Awesome. All righty. Thank you. Yeah.